could demonstrate to you, 5 watts, because this thing will knock it down to 5. Yeah. We can use 5 watts and we can go back and forth. There is something that is really cool on YouTube. Look up Jay Leno Morse code. What he did was he had, and then this been a few years ago, the world's fastest texter, and he had 2 amateur radio operators, and both of them were dressed like old-timey telegraph operators. And they had a race to see who could send it fastest. And 2 of the guys, on each team, one of the guys knew it, no one didn't. And the Morse code people won out.
Wow.
Because, dude, they were sending at 65 words a minute. These guys were hand-pounding 65 on a straight key. Wow. That's old school. That's what you think of,
Wow.
Yeah. 65 words a minute.
Wow. That's roughly 65 times 5
at least,
pulses.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, I want to say straight key, but now all of a sudden I'm thinking, no, they had a straight key. Well, anyway, go on there, and you'll laugh at what the phrase was that they used. I'm not going to reveal because that's the funniest part at the end. Nothing inappropriate. It's hilarious, though, what they used. Because the guy, the one of the hams reads it, and this guy was hand sending. He's one of the fastest guys in the world.
Wow.
Now, to skip to a slightly different, this is the cheapest Faraday cage you'll ever see. If you ever, you've heard of Faraday cages because of on spiral boards. And my Baofeng fits in there with a couple of spare batteries because the batteries are susceptible to an EMP just like the radio is, because these batteries aren't just batteries. They've got chips in them. They've got integrated circuits inside the batteries. So I keep this one just sitting on the thing. I've also got a popcorn tin.
The
big holiday popcorn tins. I've got that to put my other HF radio in.
Okay.
Oh wow.
The kids just left one here, so I might just take that one.
Now, if you were to build, I have a Faraday cage that was in my parents' basement. We left it there because we cemented it in, but I made it out of rebar, and it was actually cemented in to the foundation, and it had an additional ground strap. And you put something in there, ain't happening. It was rebar, and I had copper mesh inside of it. It wasn't cheap, but let me tell you, it could take a lot.
Yeah.
It could take a direct hit, and it would probably effectively do it.
Very
but that's
nice.
a lot of money, and that's if you're going real hardcore, stuff. But stuff like this, and if you keep it in the basement or down underground, that works as a Faraday cage too.
Yeah.
Your odds increase of it surviving.
Sorry, I'm not trying to take over anything.
No.
But by the way, I would love like something like this. That would be fun to have.
Actually,
that's
would be better.
20,
I'll definitely send you
20, 30, 40, no. 15, 20, 40? Other way, reversed.
Yeah. You gotta remember, it's also got that.
Oh. That might be 40. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the bottom tab. Anyway,
now the ones that we saw mounted when we went past while we were parking for the Hamfest.
Yes. Those are motorized. Those were Tar Heels, and you say a Tar Heel to a ham, most of them, what I'm talking about. Right? Tar Heels are about $800 a piece, but they are fully motorized. And what you're doing is, when you're driving down the road or something, and there's somebody you want to talk to, you press a button on your radio, and that's the sound it makes, by the way. It actually moves. It's what's called a screwdriver antenna, and it moves up and down the coil and automatically tunes itself. So all you have to do is talk. That's for people that have money, and you notice that none of those cars were beaters either.
Now this is basically a Baofeng, only it's made mobile. It's higher power to go in your car.
Okay.
So this one does about 25 watts on 440. I think it does 40 on
2 usually. Yeah, usually it's a lot more on 2 than it is on.
So with this, obviously on a little magnetic mount again, you can reach a lot further to repeaters or radio to radio than you can with just the Baofeng. But you can also spend that kind of money for this very easily.
Oh, wow.
Easy. Now here's the thing about amateur radio, okay? It is an expensive hobby, but your return on investment is immense. I have a 40-year-old radio that works perfectly. I bought it for $275. It's an old Kenwood TS430S. And it works. Now, I suspect that there may be, the guy who sold it to me kind of neglected to say something. It has a little funny problem on 80 meter, but you could get those things fixed cheap. There are hams that do it on a side basis that have 30, 40 years of doing this stuff, and if it needs to be fixed, they can fix it. And there's modifications you can do to these radios to, open up more transmitting, or if you're a member of Mars, military affiliated radio service, or racist.
Which is what I picked out today. It's a book on doing mods to the amateur radio. I was looking for the more useful.
We are allowed to modify our radios and build our own radios.
Yeah, we're allowed to build from scratch.
As long as if you build from scratch, you have to have proof that it works within FCC limits. And there are people who build their kit radios. You can build one from kits, easy. Elecraft.
And speaking of that,
oh yeah,
that's probably my last thing.
Yes,
I've got to get on this one and do it. This is a kit radio.
Huh.
This is an HF radio. It's called a Microbitics.
That's what you need. You need to turn the living room
and
the dining room table into your own
partially
personal
assembled
electronics lab.
on the circuit board. And then you have to do the finishing touches, and you have to mount it in something.
Here, Scott, let me tell you.
And people are actually using this little box that it comes in
as the case
to mount it in.
But
I bought the Microbitics case.
Disclaimer: you put something that emits RF in something that's not metal, you're gonna see it on a TV, hear it on your phone. Yeah. The neighbor's gonna hear it.
But you could get away from that with the same thing I did for the thing. You can put aluminum foil around the whole thing and make sure it's all sealed. I mean, you could do,
But usually, though, most people will spend the extra money and buy a case for the radio.
Yeah. Right.
Have you seen the new ones that are selling on MFJ, the U kits? They've got this cute little 20-watt
I was looking at them the other day.
QRP rig, and it's like 20 or 30 watts, and it does like 15, 20, and 40. The popular bands. You know what I think about getting that for? Putting it in a little briefcase, getting a little power supply and mounting in there, or a couple little batteries, in a Pelican case. That way.
Or like people do in ammo cases.
Yeah. Well, the Pelican I like because what those are designed for, those are called go kits. If there's an emergency or something, you grab it and you go, and you have full HF capability on the go, and it's pretty cheap.
Strangely enough, amateur radio operators were probably the first preppers.
Believe it.
Well,
because that's part of our mandate or maybe not mandate.
No, it is though. It is if you read Part 97.
When
Part 97 is part of the
big earthquakes down in South America,
rules
the only communication that
you'll
came
learn
out of
all
there
about.
was
Trust me.
Amateur radio operators.
Okay.
Nothing else was going. When
all else fails, amateur radio. Yeah. That's the same.
When Katrina hit New Orleans, there wasn't anything on the air.
Look what just happened in Indonesia.
Amateur radio operators.
Look what happened in Indonesia. They just got hit that 7-something earthquake. I was looking at the EWRL letter today, and the Indonesian Amateur Radio Society had over 70 people. On the air instantly. Wow. And the thing is, and it's not just here. We also have the National Hurricane Net, which we directly work with. Well, here's something that I think that you guys might be interested in, and as a former Washington County coordinator for this, I know about this. There is a group called Skywarn. It's a volunteer.
I know.
Well, I used to be the Washington County coordinator for Skywarn.
Oh, really?
Yes, and they meet. They have an on-air net Saturday nights at 8. They moved it to the K4 LNS repeater, 147.270. I think
over there,
or 290. I think it's 290. 147.290.
147.290. I recognize
that's K4 LNS. Well, anyway, I'm a certified weather spotter, and what's neat is you used to have to go to a class. You don't have to anymore. You can actually get certified online.
Nice.
And I can send you guys, if anybody's interested, to holler at me. and I can get you this information, and we have a net. Well, do you remember the Great Tornado?
The Great Tornado?
The one that hit a couple years ago?
We must have not been here then.
Okay. Well, I'm the one that reported it.
Okay.
Because I was out here in the total darkness, and then all of a sudden I saw boom, 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 transformers exploding. I'm like, guys, we have, I can verify that we have it down. And what's funny is Mark Reynolds, you know, the senior meteorologist, Channel 11. He went off the air, and somebody else replaced them because his parents' house was in direct path.
Oh no!
Luckily, they only just suffered some minor roof damage. It didn't get, but it was short, but it was intense. It was an F3, and actually EF3. That's enough to, you know, bring up the old joke. What do a tornado and a redneck divorce have in common? Either way, somebody's losing a trailer. You know, that's kind of, you know, what it is. But the neat thing is, you get trained on how to spot weather. Now you are not a storm chaser. You're a storm spotter. Well, I have right now the heater core went in it, so that's $600 I can't spend on the radio. I have a little '95 Nissan Pathfinder 4-wheel drive that I will drive out. What happened?
I forgot to bring the Pico. You just reminded me. I was going to bring it for you.
That's fine. Well, I may be.
Well, this was going to be the last radio I was going to buy for a while.
Wait,
I've heard that before. From me.
Yeah, but I'm not even on HF yet.
No, I'm teasing.
No, I know.
But
this was going to be the last one, and then I found that TS820.
Now, is that hybrid or full tube?
That's hybrid.
Okay. It's got 2 finals?
Yeah.
Okay.
And drivers.
Oh, nice.
Drivers and finals. But I found that for under